Zhuangzi, the butterfly dream, what if you woke up one morning feeling sure you were awake, while a tiny voice whispered that maybe you were still dreaming, and the world you trusted was only pretending to be real for now? This strange feeling opens the door to Zhuangzi, an ancient thinker who loved playful questions so much that he used confusion like a flashlight, shining it gently into corners of the mind children rarely notice. Zhuangzi once imagined dreaming he was a butterfly, fluttering freely without worries, homework, rules, or mirrors, until waking up made him wonder whether he was a man dreaming of a butterfly or something else entirely. That question feels funny at first, like a riddle told before bedtime, yet it quietly pokes at how sure we are about being ourselves when days feel solid and nights feel imaginary. Kids know this feeling when dreams feel real enough to cause laughter or fear, and waking up feels like switching channels, even though the pictures, emotions, and memories linger strangely afterward. Zhuangzi did not rush to explain which world mattered more, because the fun lived inside the wobble, where certainty slips slightly and curiosity stretches its legs to explore. Imagine wearing glasses that sometimes show everything sharp and sometimes blur the edges, while both views somehow still help you move through rooms, playgrounds, thoughts, friendships, and questions. Zhuangzi liked that blur because it reminded him that reality might depend on how you look, where you stand, and what you expect to see in the first place. This idea feels uncomfortable, since schools reward correct answers, yet Zhuangzi wondered whether answers lock us into boxes when wondering could keep us lighter and more flexible. Children already practice this flexibility during play, when a cardboard box becomes a spaceship, a blanket becomes a kingdom, and imagination quietly rewrites reality without asking permission. Zhuangzi noticed that adults often forget this skill, clinging tightly to labels like smart, wrong, winner, loser, real, fake, useful, useless, even though life refuses to stay inside neat borders. The butterfly dream whispers that identity might shift because sometimes you feel brave, sometimes shy, sometimes strong, sometimes small, while still believing you are somehow one person. This creates a gentle puzzle, because if the self keeps changing, then which version is the real one, and why do we trust today's feeling more than yesterday's dream? Zhuangzi did not argue loudly, because he preferred stories that float like leaves on water, letting readers drift alongside instead of forcing them toward conclusions. Think of watching clouds change shape, where no single form lasts, yet the sky feels complete the whole time, even without choosing one perfect cloud forever. Zhuangzi wondered whether humans are like those clouds, changing roles, moods, thoughts, and stories, while something unnamed holds everything together quietly. Kids sense this when moods shift fast, because happiness can turn into frustration during homework, games, or friendships, even though the day technically stays the same. Instead of calling this a problem, Zhuangzi smiled at it, seeing change as natural movement rather than something broken needing quick repair. That smile hides a challenge, because if things change easily, then holding too tightly might cause unnecessary stress, disappointment, and worrying. Zhuangzi compared rigid thinking to stiff branches that snap and wind, while flexible branches bend, survive, and continue growing after storms pass. Children learn this lesson when plans fall apart, because disappointment hurts less when imagination finds a new game instead of demanding the original one return. The butterfly dream hints that freedom might come from letting go of certainty, even though certainty feels safe and predictable. This creates another tension, because safety feels important, yet too much control can shrink curiosity until life feels smaller than it needs to be. Zhuangzi trusted curiosity more than control, believing that playful questioning opens paths closed by fear of being wrong. Play feels silly to serious adults, yet it is during play that ideas stretch, rules bend, mistakes transform, and learning hides inside laughter. Zhuangzi's stories often sound silly on purpose because humor sneaks wisdom past defenses that reject lectures and heavy explanations. Think about jokes that suddenly make sense later, when time and experience connect dots your younger mind could not yet reach. Zhuangzi enjoyed that delay because understanding earned slowly stays longer than answers handed over too quickly. The butterfly question refuses to settle, because if dreams feel real while happening, then certainty might always depend on timing and perspective. Kids experience this when believing in imaginary friends, monsters under beds, or future dreams that feel real long before they exist. Zhuangzi did not call these beliefs foolish, because he noticed how imagination shapes courage, fear, creativity, and hope. If imagination builds worlds, then dismissing it completely might remove something important from being human. At the same time, Zhuangzi did not say everything imagined becomes true, because balance matters even when play leads the way. This balance remains tricky, since deciding when to be serious and when to float can change from moment to moment. Zhuangzi liked not knowing the perfect balance, because searching for it kept life interesting rather than perfectly organized and dull. He believed that trying too hard to control life causes stiffness, while trusting its flow invites surprises worth experiencing. Children feel this when overthinking ruins fun, while relaxed curiosity often leads to unexpected joy. The butterfly dream lives in that space, asking you to pause and wonder instead of rushing to label the experience right or wrong. Zhuangzi gently suggested that life might be more like a story than a math problem, open to retelling from different viewpoints. Stories feel alive because they shift with listeners, just like meanings shift with minds, moods, and moments. If that is true, then truth might feel closer to movement than to frozen facts. This idea unsettles people who want firm ground, even though floating can sometimes teach balance better than standing stiff. Zhuangzi trusted readers to feel this wobble without panic, because uncertainty does not always mean danger. The butterfly may still be dreaming, or the dreamer may still be flying, and Zhuangzi leaves both possibilities gently open. As the story fades, the question stays behind, inviting you to notice how awake you feel right now, and how certain that feeling truly is.